Double KO.
What is up, guys? Welcome to Double KO Radio, and we're going to talk about several different topics today. Please, we apologize for any kind of music or anything in the background. It is hot outside. Everybody's partying, and we're in New York. So in New York, there's a lot of areas where noise is to be heard. So yeah, there's last week too we had a little bit of interference in the background that I heard, so apologies for that. But thank you for showing up again to listen to us. Shout outs to us as a channel, almost having 3,000 subscribers. Hopefully we keep growing. Hopefully you guys help us grow. And
they were commenting too. They were commenting in the podcast video. So that always gives me life, seeing those comments in that video. Seeing that you guys have agreed or disagreed, whichever it is. We just want to hear more from you, and it's pretty cool. Thank you guys. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So real quick before we start doing well, I guess it is one of the topics, right?
Which one? Which one is?
So there's a lot of division in opinions on Guilty Gear Strive for whatever aspect it is, other than maybe the lobby system, everybody, and the RC system, right? Because everybody, for the most part, really thinks Roman Cancel's cool, and for the most part, thinks the lobby system sucks, which it pretty much does.
Don't forget the netcode.
And then the netcode's pretty good too, right? So like I just wanted to bring up this quick thing that I thought was really interesting, and the only reason I'm bringing it up is because it's like I'm listening to something, and then you happen to show me something else on somebody else's opinion on the game, and
at the same time, right? Like this is like not even we planned this.
I was like, wait, and then I'm like, listen to this guy and what he thinks, because this is like completely different. So there's gonna be a night and day impersonation. This isn't verbatim, guys. We don't want to say exactly what the guy said, but from my end, there's a guy who has a podcast, right? And for the most part in the game, he's saying stuff like this. Ready, David? Because I want you to pay attention.
I'm ready. Okay.
Right. So this is the data I compiled to just make it a little easier. So the major points are he's played around like 10 hours of the game, right? The game forces an aggressive pace.
Okay.
He himself, with his character, feels like his character is playing a different game because Ino is a reset heavy but low damage.
Yeah, she does like a lot of mix-ups, right?
And he feels like he's spending a lot of bar. He needs to spend bar to do the more interesting stuff in the game, and found himself using less meter for offense and more for faultless defense and I guess stuff that's not offensive, and basically feels that the mechanics dictate too much on how you should play as opposed to the characters.
Like he don't have an option to do. That's basically what he's saying. His options are limited.
He feels like, from what he knows of the game, I guess for right now, that there's like too much of a guidance on how the game wants you to play.
Well, but then again, do you also have to take in consideration your own skill level of that, right? How much do you know of the game that maybe these are the only options that you have or that you know about it, right? Like if you only know how to approach a certain way, if you know how to certain options that you only have a lab with your character or beyond to practice to know what more can you do, then that's when you hit that limit. Then maybe that should be an inspiration for that person to be like, okay, this is what I can do. Can I learn to do other stuff that does not require these resources? Because I want to use my resource for my own play style or for my own type of things.
I mean, and that's where stuff like that comes from too. To be honest, where you go. Maybe you go, damn, it's just that in this situation, I'm using so much meter to get myself in a favorable position. Maybe let's lab out what else I could do, or maybe let's try something else the next game, and then you start paying attention to those kind of things, and that kind of builds on on how you are with your character and your playstyle too.
Yeah.
So, and I think some things are kind of weird too, like that the game forces a bit of an aggressive style, but I think that's it's pretty, but like modern fighting games want you to be aggressive
Yeah, they
for the
wanted
most
to have
part.
the action. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Uh,
I don't think that's anything new. You know what I mean? Like
well,
I
it
don't.
shouldn't be new for someone that
That
is
has
been or
experience. Yeah.
known about where this genre is going to or is being through. You know, at least for
Yeah.
the past couple of years now. And for many reasons, this is not even catering to like specific audience. I'm just saying this is the direction that most games are going for now, right? And to be honest, maybe the older games that had different type of approach could it also be due to limitations. It could be for many other things,
Yeah.
right? Like we don't know that. What we know is what you experienced so far and what you have been experiencing for the moment. Does this person play other recent games for the same company, right? Like
Yeah.
so maybe correct. So you should see some type of like theme going through, right? Like
I mean, yeah, like he's mentioned that he hasn't liked the past Arxis games, the whether it be Grand Blue or Dragon Ball or BB Tag.
oh,
He's touched them all. They haven't resonated with him,
so
which is
mhm,
understandable, but
yeah,
also shouldn't come as a surprise that um they want you to be aggressive. Like
no,
even in Dragon Ball, like the mechanics in Dragon Ball themselves, they push
your best defense, your best
action
offense.
and
Yeah.
aggressive and an aggressive nature, right? It's indicative of that when there's virtually no zoning in that game. You know,
Mhm, mhm.
there's only little spats of zoning that it allows before it becomes an aggressive game. Um,
Is it an illusion, right? Think about it, right? The illusion of options. I want to know I can do this, but I'm not going to do this. But I want to know that I can. You get me? Like an example, they want to know if their character have A, B, C, all the way to Z options, but they really, even to their playstyle, they're only gonna use A, B, C, right? Like, so is it an illusion that they want to have? Like, yeah, you could do this, but you're not gonna use it, type of thing. You know, I think that's what these games are trying to do. Not dictating what you should be doing, but compiling with data what people been doing. You know, and then setting up like, what this is what been doing, what most people have been doing when play fighting games. This is what most people are saying they like. So let's bring more of what people are saying they like. So people like aggressiveness, people like combos,
yeah,
people like flashy moves, or people like move that carry a weight of an impact, right? And
yeah,
we go back to Sam Show always, might not have all the combos, but some of the hits and some of the moves, even a regular DP, right? The game slows down when you get hit by the DP, just so you can be like, damn, I just got hit, and you can contemplate your life when you're landing. Maybe something that's what they researched and they wanted to project with that. But if that is not his playstyle, then two things I would suggest, right? Like maybe go to the lab if you wanted to learn, or if learning is not something of that person's interest because they don't have the time, then that will be the perfect. It's like a medicine, right? Like it's bad when you taste it because maybe that's not what you want, but it's actually what you need.
yeah,
So because if this person is saying, hey, the type of game that they're doing, it feels like it's dictating my game style, like I don't have the freedom of option, maybe that's what I'm saying, what they're thinking based on the options that they know of the character, but they don't want to lab to discover all these other options,
yeah,
then that's fine then, because then the game still allows you to be competent enough in a game without having to do the homework,
yeah.
right? I think at least from what I experienced, and I got to play more. Oh, guys, I forgot to tell you, my hand is recovering much better. I know it's a little off topic, so I've been playing a little bit more. So
Have you been draining my hand's life force then? Because mine's getting a little worse this past week.
I don't know, but mine, I can almost make a fist on mine. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
And
That's
when I do, I'm
awesome.
gonna do a mega fisto, like
Yeah, and then,
then break
you just
it.
crack the concrete.
Yeah, like the cast.
You know what's
But
funny
yeah.
too? Like, I like I did like I know these things are set in place, right? The negative penalty and the if you break the wall, you get benefits and all that stuff. But for me, I don't pay attention. I haven't paid attention to any of that. I don't pay attention to my risk. I don't pay attention if it says negative penalty. I just still play the way I play. You know, like
Having fun.
if I feel like I need to back off a little, I back off.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't feel like this weird need to go. Shit, the game's gonna punish me.
Yeah. and I get the fact that maybe it feels like, hey, maybe as of now we just dashing and pressing attacks, you know, and maybe Roman cancel to all the attacks and we continue the combo. But that's the beauty of a fighting game, the discovery part of it.
Yeah.
And if you look at most fighting games when they start so bare bones, and it's always whoever can get the first BMB down pack, right? It's going to be the more dominant one because it's probably the most effective, quote unquote, at that point, right? So they're going to use it the most. So then you see it the most, so people start thinking, oh, that's all they can do. And obviously that's not all they can do, but that's all they can do until now because they haven't had the game to experience, you know, the portion of the other options. Like Marvel, I remember Marvel vs. Capcom when it came out 3. And it was a little bit different.
Or the ultimate?
Original.
Okay.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And people were just doing regular combos, you know, launching them, hit, super, you know?
Yeah, and the damage was high. You know, people just felt like that was, you know, what was supposed to be done. And then you had X Factor, even higher damage, you know.
Well, Sentinel, think about it. That's why Sentinel was such a force in there. Oh, Sentinel force. Because he would just do a regular stupid ass combo and then hit you a rocket punch super and you literally were almost dead.
Yeah.
and there was not, it doesn't mean that's all he can do. Because obviously, look at KBR, right? King Blue River with Sentinel, all these people, like he is ridiculous. Like he is insane with this character, right? And that I know that's ultimate, but it's not much of a difference of a game between those two, right? Like they didn't add it like a super new mechanic or anything, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of how the game started and where it ends. And if they feel that they're stuck, I don't know, man. I think that's more of a personal thing than the game thing. Because then, like I mentioned, I do have someone else, right, that I was mentioning that I watch a lot, streams and stuff like that. And this person played Nago from the first of beta, Nago. And he mentioned, I'm going to play Nago Ryuki, and he's a slow character. He cannot jump. He has these things. And beta number 1 was an impression. Beta number 2, the impression was even worse for him. Like he felt like the character was even weaker. That didn't stop him from playing the character. That didn't stop him from seeing, okay, so what do I have? Let me see what tools can I make. What can I make better out of this? Game releases. He's still playing Nago, right? And by now, like I've been telling you, this game benefits mastery, right? And because he's been playing so much of this character, he knows more of the character than the opponent knows about his. So he's getting away with a lot of things, right? He's getting away with a lot of different hits and combos and unfamiliarity.
Yeah.
Sorry, that word's hard. Then the opponent doesn't know. And what does he say? He say, wow, I'm still learning. I still feel like I'm learning through this experience. Mind you, he played beta, number 1, number 2, and 3. And this character hasn't been touched much, right? Nagoriyuki, into some
I mean, I think he's one of the more touched.
Well, it still has the bigger flaw of this character, right?
Yeah.
That is always present, right? Which is, you know, if you do too much, let's say like too much of this thing with this character, you get kind of in a different situation where your health just depletes very quickly and stuff like that, which it can be very demoralizing for others and stuff like that. That again, that mechanic, even though he doesn't like it as much, did not stop him from learning how he cannot trigger that. And that's what he did. He was like, I'm gonna learn, and they made it even a meme about it, that if he would use this rage mode, whatever, then, you know, he will fail, even if he wins, you know. And then they even made a picture of him going, exploding in blood and stuff like that, which is mad cool.
You know, it's funny. I think I saw another popular streamer content creator, like his title was, I give away a sub every time I go into Blood Rage.
No way.
I didn't watch his stream or whatever, but I thought it was really cool
You should have.
to have that be a game.
You would have got a sub.
I know, right?
But yeah, when I presented to you, I was like, yo, look at what this guy said. You know, he's saying that in comparison to a game that is a fan favorite of him, which is Dragon Ball FighterZ, and this is one of his all-time favorite games ever, right? And he has played many fighting games before. He mentioned that he plateaued on that game very early, and he's still playing it. He's still
it's insane because he plays it to the point where like he he just goes, "Hey, this is a night where I'm playing this guy.
Yeah.
This is a night where I'm playing this guy as requested by this person."
Yep.
So and that helps him as a player because it familiarizes him with
With
all the
everyone.
matchups in the game. But also, I think it's just kind of crazy that it makes sense that someone who plateaus decides he still likes the game enough that he, instead of just stopping or taking I guess that that feeling he has towards the game in a negative way, he just goes, "Look, I like the game enough to play it. Let me give myself goals and challenges while playing the game as well."
Discovery, yes, as discovery too. Attempt to discover, because that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Attempting to discover something new during that process. And he mentioned that in Strife, which is not it's not a 3-player game. It's not like you're not flying, you're not doing all these crazy things, changing super to super, right? He still feels that he's learning more from the character that he's playing that he has done in Dragon Ball, right? He says that the types of things that he learns feels like it has even more weight in this game than the things that he learned in Dragon Ball. Because in Dragon Ball, he felt like it's more universal thing. Everything is way more universal. So even if he learns something in Dragon Ball, he will feel like it's not groundbreaking. While in here, he's like, yo, this is so crazy what I just discovered here. What more can I discover with this character? And that motivated him even more.
Mm-hmm.
So it, and then from you hear this, and then you hear someone saying that there's no reason to lab this game at all because you learn everything right from the start. Then that means, you know what it means? I'm here to say that Daisuke did a good game, because he did a game that you either can lab and find all this discovery and gold, or not lab and still be competitive enough that you can still do things.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I get from that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if it's not one way only, then that means that you have a bigger audience that can benefit from this.
Mm-hmm.
From the lab monsters to the people that don't have time to lab and want to press some buttons and enjoy the game.
Yeah, and there's been plenty, since this game's had plenty of views, there've been plenty of times where I see some random streamer that I've never heard of before, because there's been a billion tournaments. I like watching tournaments. So I always check in, all right, who's doing the tournament tonight? Because there's been one every day at least, maybe multiple on a daily basis. But every now and then there's a random ultra popular streamer that I've never heard of with
millions
12K views and all that stuff, and I'm like, oh, whoa, who's this person giving eyes to this game?
Yep.
Awesome.
I think Twitch, the whole Twitch has been just. I think Sagen posted something when they did that last tournament, the 10v10 or whatever. Mm-hmm. I was like, I wonder what people are watching, and it's a screen. You see a million. You saw in the Matrix Reloaded when they show all the versions of Neo.
Yeah,
what he did. It literally shows all that, and it's all that tournament, and multiple people streaming it and all that stuff.
Everybody was so excited to see the first ever America versus Japan online thing happening in fighting games.
Because competition is always, such an exciting thing, and I think that says a statement of the game, man. If the game was dull enough, I don't want to say like this, right? But if it was a little bit dull enough, then it would have probably the impact that maybe Granblue did, right?
Yeah,
Granblue did had an impact. It's just it didn't peak, right? For many reasons, but
I think honestly, I just think it's mainly the rollback reason, since it's such a big thing. It was such a big thing to talk about last year. So
it was
gameplay wise, it's not exciting as something as wild as this game, right? Whether Granblue teaches you to be really good, have really good fundamentals or not, it's still for viewership. It's not as crazy things. Don't tend to happen.
I'm just saying, man. I think if you're not paying attention, you should. Not you specific. I'm talking to the audience. If you're not paying attention, you should. Certain things, and this started with Smash Brothers. Remember Smash Brothers? How they have certain changes in the game that is visually pleasing for the audience. And when they KO you, it goes slow, and then your character in the background gets red, and then your character flies right when you die. That's at least showing that something is happening. And in this game, I feel that not only has the visual impact, but it also has the gameplay feel. If you haven't played this game, guys, I suggest you get this game, because when you pressing certain buttons in this game and you hitting certain things, it feels so damn good.
Mm-hmm.
It feels so good. It's something that is hard to explain, or maybe I don't have the words for it, but it just feels like fun.
To
I don't
be
want to say.
honest, to be
I don't want to
honest,
say it, but it's
Dragon Ball
fun.
had that too. You remember how
Yes.
good it felt
Training?
to hit stuff in
Oh,
the training room and all that stuff in Dragon Ball, like all the hits and the supers and landing all these like intricate combos with your assists and all that felt really good. But I think they almost perfected it in this game because there's so many. I know there's some people that say, "Oh, this. Why does this stop for so long?" Or "Why does the camera do this?" And "Why does the screen shake with that?" There's some people find that
In Strive?
a little jarring or whatever. Yeah, in Strive, but
Really?
it all feels like really good.
I love it.
It
I
all
love
feels
it.
really good.
It's not. Look, I love
Crashing
Bangladesh.
somebody through a wall. You know what's really fun? It's barely nothing, right? But to me, I find it hilarious when I beat somebody and they crash through the wall, right? And that's the last hit because I still stay there, but you still see the camera still goes to their body flying to the
Like
next
Team
stage.
Rocket. Team Black.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
it cracks me up because I'm like, my character has no need to follow you.
You over there.
You're all the way over there. Oh, he's dead. Like if my character's like looking with his eyes over, like with his hand over his eyes, like a visor
Trying to
for the
look
sun.
forward.
Yeah, like I don't need to follow him. He's dead. He's like 40 feet away. Fuck that.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's fun, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's hard to describe it. It is fun, and now that I'm playing a little bit, I think I did a little bit of the stream. You watched. I was trying some stuff with Kai. I'm just trying to learn Kai.
Yeah.
And I was like learning. What if I do this? What if I do that? And you know, when I start doing those things, the game has stuff. When if I start going, look, I'm gonna be honest. In Grand Blue, I go like, okay, I know my corner combo, I know my knockdown combo, I know my EX and my supers.
Yeah.
Let's go fight.
Right,
You know, because
here, and there's little room to adapt to like getting a hit confirmed too. So there's just like, all right, well, here's what I do in the corner pretty much. Here's what I do in mid screen pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's go in there.
Yep.
This is what keeps me safe.
And it's not bad, right? Because it gets you into the game right away. Don't get me wrong. But it's just, I feel it more rewarding when I can still find stuff like that and go to fight and do it.
Hold
and
on.
be like, yo, okay, no worries.
All right.
So I find it
What
really.
were you? Sorry.
Yeah, so I find it really rewarding for me when I go into a lab, right? And I'm starting to try all these different things, but I also can implement them in battle, right? Because the battle mechanics somehow, you know, it's chaotic because there's a lot of things going on, but it's kind of control in a way. I don't know how to describe it. Like Dragon Ball is chaotic, more chaotic than control, but this I feel like if I have to pace myself or not, or be aggressive, like you mentioned, I can still change my style.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I cannot reciprocate with that. I feel like the game is making me play a certain way. At least I haven't got there.
But also too, what if it's the character? But if it is the character, isn't that a good thing? That it feels like playing a different character makes you feel like you're playing a completely different game because they're so different.
Well, I was about to say, yeah, you should feel good that you play a different game. If you don't like Strife, then you're playing a character from a game that you probably like, right? Like, you know, like what is the? I don't know. I just feel like it's like you mentioned. You showed me a word today, polarizing, right? Like,
yeah,
it's just even if they hate it or they like it or they think it's trash the mechanics or they think it's very exciting this all mechanics, they're still playing the game. So that's good. Yay. I'm gonna keep repeating this until people stop playing the game, right? They're gonna keep playing the game, and more people are even watching now with all these crazy tournaments.
Yeah,
I just think it's fantastic. Guys, get this game, play it, let us know.
it's so crazy how this has become
a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
it's the new
and
girl.
I think it's just that there's so many people playing it too, where people are like so quick to be negative, because you know, the more people involved in something, there's more of a mass of people just to have a negative outlook on it, and not just and just almost like riding a wave, you know, not even like if it's one person feeling a certain way about it, then they'll go, you know what, I didn't like that little arbitrary thing either. Fuck this game. You know, like it's like there's certain things that are really understandable, right? That are really like, yeah, they could definitely fix that. Yeah, that might be better or might be worse if if they change this thing or that thing, because there are things in the game that we'll talk about in a future podcast when we review the game.
Absolutely.
That we'll touch on to that is actually something that could be better for the game. Yeah. But like a lot of times, even you guys that are listening to us right now, you have to weed out what we say and weed out how much of what we're saying is personal preference and how much of what we're saying is more universal that can be information that most people can agree or disagree with, depending on what it is.
Would you say that people feeling, since there's newer audience and stuff like that, would you say that people that have more influence have been catering to this type of wave that you mentioned? Like, think about it. A big streamers say, the game could use certain things. And the minds of people might trigger immediately negative. Oh, it's trash.
I think you just have to pay attention to how much they've played the previous games. It's boiled down to that. Oh, this guy's saying they don't like it. Did they play the previous ones?
But they're not gonna think like that. For
how many years? Okay.
The audience is not gonna think like that.
Yeah.
The audience is just their way to be where they're gonna go. Type. Yeah, of
like no matter how likable they are.
Yeah.
Are they getting paid by the company for anything? Yeah. No. Okay. Well, no, they're not. Okay, cool. So maybe they hold a little bit more weight. But why are they saying this? Oh, because they love this game so much. Who did they play? Oh, that character's not in the game. Okay, so they gotta find something that they can, I guess, try to play with
until that character.
Yeah. Like it's all these little variables and the information that people dish out there. You gotta try and dissect it for yourself.
I mean, that's a good suggestion, and I agree with you 1,000%. Are they gonna do that? I don't know. I just don't feel. I feel like the masses that watches the big influencer streamers, I just dare to know where they're gonna be pointed at. Tell me that I need to get this game.
It's that same mindset that makes tier lists so
popular.
God,
you're right. Yep.
It's the same mindset that makes tier lists so popular. Maybe they're playing a character that's really good, right? But then the influencer says they're like mid tier, and then they're like, see, I knew it.
You see?
This character sucks.
Yeah.
This character is not top 3. I'm gonna change my character.
It's good that you say that. Because last night I was watching Kissy K stream. If you guys haven't watched it, go watch it. It's an awesome player. He kept saying to the chat, they were like, I'm starting to learn Kai. What should I learn? He was like, you go here, you character select, you pick the color that you like, -6, he put a 5, whatever, and then you press play and you play the character. And he was like, seriousness, that will be my first step. He was like, I'm not BSing you, because I need to know where you get stuck first. Play the game and learn it, and then come back to me and I'll help you out.
Yeah,
I think that's fantastic. Instead of being like, Kai is trash. No, Kai, he didn't say any of that.
He does mention plenty of information about how he feels about the character.
Yes,
but not in really definitive ways. It's not like let's say he'll go, Kai's hard to play.
Yeah,
but isn't he easy to pick up? Yes, but Kai's hard to play for a different reason.
Yeah, correct, because he's talking about his experience too, right? His fighting game experience, and he's taking that in consideration. Not everyone is to this level. So when someone mentioned, hey, I'm taking a pick in this character, and then so like, nah, that character right now is the weakest. You don't want. He's not even saying that because he wants to encourage you to play the game. So go play it, like we are.
But the only thing he's discouraged has been one specific character, and again, you got to read between the lines. It's because he's trying to get his boy to stop playing certain characters. Like his roommate plays Faust. He made a whole meme video about it, that the Faust is louse because he holds so many L's. He's in his own bracket all to himself.
Just
nobody picks him, nobody plays him. Yeah, but he does think that he has a lot of what's that called?
Double meaning?
The weaknesses, right? So like if you, like say you and me are training partners or whatever, and then you notice that your boy really likes a character and he's picking him up, you're still gonna be like, bro, you like him, but that
it's not working.
That might not be the one for you, right? But even with that, he has some karma this week and a Faust beat him.
Yeah.
in a grand finals to Bum's tournament or whatever. Like, of course, it's Hook and God, right?
I mean, incredible.
It's one of the top players in the nation, but it's still a character he was really negative about. And then I'm watching the 10v10 and the Japanese Faust, because there's two of them, but they were doing ridiculous shit. I was like, hell no, this guy's not worse than Angie. Who said that?
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's because the game doesn't have options in exploring.
Yeah. Those guys definitely look like they explored Faust. Holy shit.
But yeah, let us know if you guys playing it. Again, if you guys saw the tournament 10v10, also let us know. Or how you feel if you play the game. If not, let us know that when you get in this game, because you better get this game. But in other news, what we got? We got trailers.
Yeah, like since we talked a little bit about Grand Blue and this kind of dropped in hot.
Nice.
6 was
Hot Summer.
6 was released.
Was released?
The trailer, sorry.
Oh.
6 was revealed. In a trailer, and it's weird because I thought a lot of people are like, hey, this was the last character of the past.
Nah, they should have like 5 more.
But then I'm like, what are these? Why are these 2 question marks? And they're not explaining why there's 2 extra question marks. What's going on here?
No questioning.
So here's what I got off the trailer. He's a rushdown, and he looks more interesting than, like, they put a little bit more into this guy than, let's say, the base roster kind of characters, right?
Let's put it like that.
Well, Lancelot has some stuff.
Yeah, but they don't look as flashy as his.
He's got big glowing claws.
Yeah.
So here's what I got from the trailer. He's got a type of parry that you can cancel into other stuff, like whether it be movement or moves. Like, you could jump out of it if it hits, you could go behind somebody if it hits, and you could do hits off of it, depending on what you want to do.
Full screen too, right?
Because he could do it through projectiles.
Yeah, projectiles.
So it works on projectiles as well. He has the barrage, the Berserker barrage. I don't know if it's like a Rekka or anything like that, because I think or if it's even in the same way as the parry, because it looks like you could cancel moves out of it too, unless it's the EX. The EX looks like it just fucking goes in. You go all the way. I don't think they'd make him that complicated for this game. He has like either a dive kick or a wall cling, because he did it in the corner, like he dived off the corner. So I don't know if that's specifically because it's in the corner, or if he just has a dive kick with his claws. But he does have a projectile from the air too. That'll help with baiting out DPs or trading in the air or being able to jump in this game at least.
Yeah, that's strong.
He has a command dash that looks like Chip's Gamma Blade.
Oh yeah,
you saw that, right? But it didn't hit, so I don't know if it also hit.
Like a teleport,
but he just like teleported in front of I think it was Metaro or whatever, and then he started doing like a combo or doing strings or whatever he was doing. I don't remember what he did after that. The only part I really remember is that he did like a Gamma Blade. Oh, it didn't hit. Okay.
His mass breaks.
His mass breaks, but we don't know what that mechanic could mean. It doesn't. Could be fun. Yeah, I hope it's something interesting. And he has 3 supers. The one that's the most interesting one is the one that's either like Yoon's super from Street Fighter or Yang's super
like
from
Rose
Street Fighter.
For something recent, right?
Yeah.
That you get an illusion of you.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's just extra hits that happen and you do the same combos, or you're able to do like a custom combo kind of variation thing. The last time they did a super where it looked like it could be interesting was Uno's super with his spear, his 7 spear, where they just kind of stick around.
But Vegeta too was also interesting.
But they made it. But it's not like
it's not an install.
As interesting. Like Vegeta's is just presses at the right time.
The Rekka
and Uno's is presses at the right time, and you might get a combo. But it like both of them were like Vegeta's is visually cool, and Uno's was like underwhelming. So
Yeah, they're more
hopefully
of an installs.
this is a lot more interesting than those previous ones.
Yeah.
So
'Cause other than
what'd you
the
think of the guy?
I think he looks really cool. Like aesthetically, he looks really dope. And that kind of two personality thing he has with the mask, and when they break the mask or something like that. Because Vegeta at the end takes his mask and he's like mad, like
Yeah, he
saying, like,
gets
"Oh no, my
shy.
god, no, my mask."
Yeah.
But it looks cool, right? Like it fits the whole theme. I think visually the trailer made it look interesting because I think they try to show like, look, he has options. At least
Mm-hmm.
that's what it made me feel like. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
look, especially when they do the super and they divide the screen in two to show like two versions or
Yeah.
maybe two ways of doing the super.
Yeah.
That's super cool, right? Like, I mean, it's appealing to me because like, oh, he does multiple ways to do this thing. Not like I forget the Saurus, not like Saurus, right? Like Saurus has like an install when he powers up and his moves are different. But you didn't know that you didn't know in the trailer you have to be dying to do that, right? Like, oh, I
Yeah,
have
and
to be dead.
that's another thing that's like underwhelming. His
Yeah.
Sora's is install super. You get like an extra Rekka off of something,
On safe
and then
cave.
but the buffs are like more damage, more defense, right? Something like I don't even remember anymore.
It's trash because you're almost dying. Anyway.
Yeah.
but he showed at least in that trailer that he could do multiple things with or without that super. So because he was doing like you mentioned those slashes and stuff like that. For me, the most impressive thing is that it felt for him that he's always gonna be in your face no matter if you're doing projectiles, no matter if you have super armor because he hits multiple times. It feels like a good character. And a lot of people thought, like you mentioned, this is the last character of the thing, right? And they were like, right? And then and it shows like the question mark. Maybe it's another
Mad
season?
Casual too. Hey, yeah, we're gonna show somebody else in August
Next month.
Wait,
Next
what?
month.
Excuse me?
I don't have money.
I had end of season videos planned, and now this is happening. I just need to know, like, depending on when the characters are gonna be released, is gonna depend on what kind of videos I release around that time. Because if it's like a big gap, like it was between season 1 and season 2, because of COVID and stuff, or because it shows like a separation in seasons, then I can do a lot of that stuff. But if it's just coming out the next month, then I'll just keep it going.
For me, I think that what if these characters are like you mentioned, like two extra characters that they just throw there for us, and it's still it's not even part of the second season. It's just two extra character throw ups in there because it probably is gonna take a little while until that third season comes, right? You know,
or maybe even they're taking the rollback thing seriously and deciding to that all right, let's add these two that are in the works and release like a whatever edition of this game, and then we'll start working on fixing the rollback or whatever, because this is popular in certain places like Korea and a little bit in Japan, but I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
I think that if they would have shown in one of those question mark, I know it's gonna piss a lot of people off, but a guest that it said guest in there, I think it will bring a lot of eyes, dude. Even if you don't know who's that guest is, because Granblue has just so many collab, it can literally be anyone.
Yeah.
You know?
In the waifu tournament thing, people are always like, "Oh, wow, from this series," or "Why is this character here?" Or,
one of those
"Oh,
people.
I love this character. Why are they losing?" You know, like there's definitely like passion in there being a guest there in that world.
Man, that would be so cool, man. They had Joker in there, dude, from Persona, and he was there already. Like,
I think it would definitely be a good thing.
It would be fantastic, but I know that people will be like, yeah.
For fans that don't play it, but like the universe, I think they'll give them reason to complain. But come on, man, you're not playing it.
You said the universe.
The universe, yeah, the Granblue universe. You know.
Oh, I thought you meant like.
No.
Like the universe, you know.
So anyway, extra details with coming with that character is 6 is coming out July 13th. He should have came out July 6th. Just for the memes, right? He gets a little avatar like all the other guys do. You get a little profile pic and your little emo stickers added to the game for that character. 2 episodes of RPG quests. Man, it sounds like a lot of stuff is coming out with this character. And it's the norm, guys.
You know, the other games just throw your character.
So for those people that go, $8 for a cat. Like we're getting 2 free stages that are in RPG mode. Celestial View, and to be honest, Celestial View just looks like space from
It looks
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball.
I'm like,
Yeah.
why are they bringing space here? I'm tired of that stage. And Abyss, almost a stage. It looks really cool, but it's almost a stage I don't approve of because it reminds me of a lava stage.
Yeah, in Dragon Ball right now, make destroyed.
Yeah, and that's basically it. But yeah, he looks really cool. He looks really cool. He looks really cool.
Did it did something for you, the trailer?
It made me feel like it like all of the characters in season 2. To be honest, it makes me feel like they're being a little bit. They're having a little bit more freedom with the styles.
More fleshed out, right?
Yeah, like Belial's still a Shoto, right? But he's got an interesting projectile. Cagliostro has it, like, is super unique in the game. Who else was it? UL, she's a different type of rushdown than Lancelot. Like, there's a different way to play her. Uno, unfortunately, he's ugly, unpopular, and hard to play. So he's not going to be popular regardless. But if they had made him really easy to play, they got to think about stuff like that. He'd be a little bit more popular, but he's still a character that needs a lot of knowledge checks in order to play him effectively. So he's not gonna be popular, but he's still a little bit different. Who else? Eustace, first gun character. A lot of interesting stuff there. A lot of versatility with him too, and I think this guy's gonna be an even more versatile version of Lancelot. He might even kill the rushdown characters. Why am I picking anybody else?
That's what I'm thinking. That 2.0, and it's funny, right? 2.0. I mean, season 2 feels like the 2.0 versions of the main cast, right? Like, I wish we get another grappler or something like that.
We definitely need one of those.
That would be so cool, because then it's just, people have been playing these characters from vanilla, right? That they only have this version, and now it feels like a second job, right, to these characters. That's how I see it. RPG mode, right?
Yeah.
You have Lancelot being, let's say, a ninja, a knight, whatever, and now you have the ninja version of him, or more berserker with the Seis, right? Or something like that, I don't know. I feel like that feels more interesting for me if they're gonna do that type of thing. They're gonna keep evolving this type of playstyle.
One thing too that I forgot to mention, if you notice in the trailer, in Grand Blue, you're able to have different kinds of weapons for cosmetic reasons, and his is actually not his claws; it's his mask. Oh,
so he always has his claws. His mask change.
His mask are always his claws are always gonna be a glowy blue, but they show like for a split second that he has a different mask in another mode or whatever.
So he's gonna have that dragon thing.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but that's what it felt like, because usually they show different weapons too, and I didn't see any sort of clue as for a new weapon, but they had one moment where his mask was different. I could be wrong. You guys let me know down in below.
Did it make you want to go back and play it?
I mean, regardless, I don't feel like I want to play a new character. I honestly really like Bubs. Like, since I started playing him, I really like Bubs. Starry, I stole your husbando, but
I mean, it's fine.
Like, for real, like if I ever play or people want to play, I'll just pick up Bubs.
It's a character.
I don't feel like learning anybody new right now.
Because that's what I wanted to go for my next thing. Because multiple trailers came out recently. Sorry for the 1 second noise. Like the Melty Blood with a release date came out, right? Which we're gonna talk shortly. This Seis character for Grand Blue got released and stuff like that. And even a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, the Kazuya from Smash Brothers and stuff like that. And are these times and days where trailers? This is a question for you, right? Like, times and days that trailers are doing anything anymore, or do you feel that maybe like developers talking straight about the game more is what gets people more hype, right? Because they know more about the gameplay mechanics of stuff instead of just, hey, this is a cool trailer. Like King of Fighters been doing a lot of trailers, right, and stuff like that too. Like, do you feel that these trailers are doing something? Like, do you feel like it's doing justice for the game?
I think it depends on how invested you are competitively in a game. Like, to be honest, like if you're a super casual like let's say like for Grand Blue, I'm super casual in Grand Blue because I don't care about the game enough to be like, oh man, I'm competitive. But if I was competitive, I'm thinking about what the characters do. Like to be honest, I'm thinking about their functions. I know there used to be a meme before in the FGC, thinking about character functions, how they fit into the with the rest of the character,
what is happening,
what could possibly be their good matchups, bad matchups, and do they look nice? Like that stuff is still there, but there's always going to be this underlying thing in the back of a competitive person's mind that thinks about that instead of going, whoa, look at this sick new character, that's so cool for us, look how cool they added this person or this guest or anything like that. I think for a competitive standpoint, that magic is still kind of there when it comes to like, wow, look, new shiny toy. But I think it affects casual people in a different way where there's more magic there, almost like a little kid going to a carnival for the first time. Like there's more of that magic still in there than there is for somebody who thinks themselves as a professional.
Like how you see, I guess, for King of Fighters, some people, I think you mentioned, people are getting exhausted about, trailers after trailer for character because the cast is so large, right? Which apparently is a bad thing, I guess. The cast is so large that they keep releasing weekly characters, and people are like more like they want to see more of the game, And I personally think that in some way it does adjust it, but maybe it's doing a little bit more harm not because they're getting released, but the way they're getting released. I think that we know very little of the characters, we know very little of the gameplay, we know very little where is it coming out, the things that really matters. So imagine I get super invested about this game, an example, and I'm a Switch player, right? And then it'd be like, well, it's not coming for Switch. I know I picked that thing just to be on the safe side to say that comment, but right, like say if it's only Xbox, I don't know, something dumb, and I'm invested into this game. Oh, it's not coming for my game, for my system. It's better. I think those things needs to be at least set early on,
like what it's coming out for.
Yeah, at least even if that changes later on.
Has KOF done that?
I don't think so.
Doesn't feel like it, right?
I don't think so.
It's weird because, like, again, the whole how casual you are matters. Because from what I'm gathering, all over the comments I've seen over the trailer videos, is the more casual you are, you're more wondering where your favorite stuff is. Where's this character? Where's that character? How dare they disrespect
where's Leona
X character because they're not even there and other people are there. And they're not the people that I want all of a sudden.
K9999.
Oh my god, always with that character that's banned. Yeah, that was a funny comment too. Like there's this one guy who wanted K999. I'm like, dude, but he's like illegal, basically.
Walking Sue.
You're almost asking to get cuffs on you on them, like, and then be like, no, but they could change him enough till what? He's just not K999.
K888.
Yeah, but but then like you got the competitive people going, but now that they got this little inkling of new mechanics that they don't understand, they want to be these fucking know-it-alls still, right? They're going, well, how can I play this game in my brain till next year? How can I play matches out with certain characters in my brain for 9 months till the game comes out if they don't tell me the information?
I'm gonna make a tier list.
How can I make a preemptive tier list on where I think all these characters will be based on the information they gave me and all of the mechanics and all the moves I've seen in all these trailers now, and get this content ready for all of my fans? Like I don't know. I get it, but it's not gonna do much.
It's not gonna do nothing.
It's not gonna do. You're still gonna be sitting there not playing the game. You're still going to be sitting there not playing the game.
I think they need to release a demo. Even if it's not with full
I need to know how excited I am currently feeling about this. Because I just don't know even though I'm getting all these character trailers. And it's like, and it's, I think it's a, no matter what, I think it's good that they're doing it this way.
I think so too.
Even though there is a little bit of fatigue, it's like, whoa. Unfortunately, yeah, it's KOF. It's a lot of fucking characters. At least you're getting a lot of characters, right?
Yes.
But every week that they put one out, they're getting, whether it's like a lot of the same people or not, they're getting over like almost like 400,000 people watching a trailer.
That's OD, dude. That's OD.
Over and over again every week. Almost 400, depending on the character, right? Depending on how much tits she's showing. You know, like depending on how much muscle, pecs and abs are being shown out.
If they're doing that wind up punch animation, that
if they got that wind up Pepe frog punch. You know, like it depends on if that's there, and then you see it on Twitter over and over again. You know, all right, I'll watch the trailer. They did it. They did the Pepe frog.
I did that, dude. I did that.
I mean, it's world of difference. Like maybe they could have did team trailers, right?
Yeah.
Maybe every couple months ago, team trailers. But then again, this is another thing that people aren't thinking about. Some characters, there's always like a blueprint, a layout, plan,
This is how we
dates,
a roadmap,
roadmaps, all set. Who's doing what? Who's working on what? Who do we choose to show? All this other stuff, and people need to realize that, you know, just because certain things aren't happening now, it doesn't. They can't show you everything. Yeah, you know, like it's a character trailer. What are you expecting? You know, like
it's not a gameplay trailer. You know, it's not a gameplay game. Just you know,
and even with that, all this stuff they're showing you could be stuff that might not even make it to the game, and that's why they haven't officially made any kind of announcement that, all right, officially this is how this works. You know, not even that it's in or not. Maybe those things are set to be in, but they don't know how it works yet, because all the characters aren't 100. All the game isn't 100 yet. So calm the fuck down.
So, you know? in contradiction to like the Grand Blue trailer and the King of Fighter trailers, so even though I said it might be doing them a little bit more harm and than the benefit, it is the harm that it's doing is because people are so impatient, right? Yeah. And then for Grand Blue, since there's less enthusiasm behind it, like you just mentioned, these super fans behind it, then they're okay. Okay, you know, I like it. It looks cool. But in King of Fighters, you know, like legacy characters and all this stuff has so much weight that every time they release a character that is not someone else's favorite character, because it will always be that. Yeah, no matter what. No matter in anything. So it brings more like the desperation. So maybe next one is mine. You know, maybe next one is mine. And then it keeps building up to that. That's the only thing I think that might be able to do. Maybe they should do like a gigantic silhouette trailer, so people can just guess who those characters are from here to a year on that is still coming up, you know? Yeah. And because I just think that maybe there might be a point that people might lose interest in terms of like, oh, this is a silhouette. Oh, well, I don't give a fuck, you know, type of thing. Instead of be like, yo, I wonder who this character is, you know?
You know why I don't think that's going to happen? Why? I think this is going to keep going, and then there's going to be 1 week where they go, oh, shit, dude, only 200K views. What do? We know what we're doing.
Bring the girl.
Release Rock Howard. Maximilian likes Rock Howard, right? He's getting millions of views. Boom. Yeah, put and in 3 months release Geese. You know, like it's gonna be that. Like they've got that already planned out, and no matter what, it's whatever's happening, unless it's like super negative towards the game, right?
King Capuan's hands don't move.
Yeah, like it's not gonna divert from their roadmap, their game plan. You know, like all these trailers months in advance have been planned out on who's getting released when.
So. I don't think released yet, but how they look, I don't think that's been planned out because there's too much inconsistency in them.
Well, I mean.
You mean who's getting released? You mean?
Yeah, who?
Yeah, okay.
For the most part.
How is different.
But or even if there's like 5, like, all right, how are we doing with these 5? Yeah. All right, start doing the trailer for this one. This one looks more ready. You know, like even if it's that, there's still some kind of battle plan they got for all these things.
And mind you, these people, I don't know the budget, but it's not a Street Fighter 5 budget, right? It's not a
It's
Guilty Gear
not a
Strive budget.
it's not a your parent Sony uh
Yeah, dude.
giving you an allowance, to try and get it ready.
Yeah, yeah. And so I guess it does have more of an impact in this type of trailers, right? Like for me, I think. But yeah, the negative positive still has an impact. So it's doing a mission. But then I think a week or maybe a couple of days, Melty Blood trailer came out, right?
Yeah.
Did that do anything to you? Like,
I'm to contrast what it's doing in terms of information than KOF. Mind you, obviously, it doesn't have as many characters to deal with as KOF has, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have that strong, high number characters, the legacy that KOF has put on itself. But with Melty Blood, recently an info trailer got dumped on us, right?
Yeah.
It gave the release date. It gave the two versions of the type of game you could buy. I think the deluxe might be Japan only because it hasn't been confirmed for America yet. But who cares? It'll happen. If people really want it, those weebs will import the shit, right?
Yep.
Buying it early gives you free announcer DLC. It's gonna be available on what it's gonna be available on. It's gonna be there. Crossplay hasn't been announced, but at least it's on multiple platforms.
Yeah.
And on the website, if you still need more information, that's where it shows you all the mechanics and explains them. So on that front, that should appease people that are really into that series. But it's not super popular game, and unfortunately, for let's say 2021 standards, no matter what, it doesn't look AAA.
Yeah, but it never did.
No, I get that, and that's why they it's more of a niche kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But that's not the point. Like the point is like you should be hoping to catch up to everybody else, and just bringing that to Under Night kind of levels of like graphically. Like I understand they're not a AAA thing, and the animation does look good, the characters do look good, but it doesn't look like it was made this year or it's supposed to be released this year, unless it is a Switch game only. You know what I mean? Like Switch games just have that look to them where it's just like, oh, this looks kind of like interesting. Oh, it's for Switch. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Is it which indie developer did this? Like
PS5? No way. Nah, put it back in the oven. Put it back in the oven.
Oh, it's coming out for PS5? Cool. Like, was it on PS3 originally, or is this a what HD version of this? Is that you get that put in your mind, but it, like for people who are diehard Melty Blood fans, this looks amazing, right? Diehard Uni fans, maybe it looks amazing, right?
Yeah, but so this is my opinion. Like it does look much better, like literally compared to the 2D sprites of the other one, right? That I play on PC or PS2 and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. It looks incredible. It looks like if you had a really like a Super Turbo, right? When it went to HD remix. Remember that?
Real quick, let us finish before you hit the dislike off of what I just said.
Oof.
So I know how you people are. Hold on. David, continue, please.
I think
they're hovering right now over the button. I sensed it.
Yeah, they were like this. They were like this. Click. That's why I'm gonna be very cautious. I think that the game, while is much better, feels like an HD remix of what Super Turbo was, Super Street Fighter Turbo. When they made HD remix of that game, it looked incredible. Like the graphics, the sprite, the fireballs, everything. The stages, the lighting looks much better. So that's what I take from this game, right? Like it looks like that. Yeah, it does have added mechanics, which is even better. But like I'm there with you. It doesn't look at the moment. I don't know much. It doesn't look at the moment like it's pushing the game's boundaries, right? Like as a next gen fighter, right? Like you mentioned, trying to compete with the others. Doesn't mean Melty Blood has many avenues, right? The combos are already crazy. Like if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah.
But
It
But
gives me
how old is that game, right? Like,
for the gameplay footage I've seen, it gives me a lot of Power Rangers vibes, to be honest. Not
oh,
like
it's very open, like in terms
like
of doing
yeah, it
stuff.
feels like it's open. It's not so confusing,
No,
and there's like a hardcore group of people that just love it so much, and I respect that. That there's like there has to be something to this game for so many people to have like this really deep seated love for the game. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
I mean, I personally played it, and I think it was fantastic. When I played it, I felt like it was good.
Which character did you play?
I played this little girl, is like a monk. I don't remember her name. And then there's a girl with a really long red hair and like a tank top. Sorry, guys, I don't know their names.
Guys,
But
is he a scrub? Let me know.
I'm definitely a
Let me
scrap
know
player. When I
that.
was like,
No, no, no.
12 years
For
old.
your character choice. I don't
Oh,
know. I don't know how you used to play. I'm just saying. Is he a scrub for picking the red hair girl? I have a feeling the red hair girl is like broken in some way or brain dead in some way.
it's not Monster Hunter character. But I'm there with you. Like I feel like yeah, there is a group of people who are gonna play that. I'm pretty sure it's gonna do fantastic and sell well. Uh, but what is it gonna lead to, right? Like I just want to know where this trailer is is giving me, right? Like as me as a player. Okay, well it's Melty Blood. If you're a fan of Melty Blood, then you can play it, and you've been waiting for this game. If I'm not a fan of Melty Blood, then do I play it? Do I? This is why I want to play it. You know, I don't feel like the
Yeah.
trailer gave me a reason. I like. Well,
I
this
think
is why
I
you should
think I
play it.
think we were more excited off the first trailer.
Yeah,
We were like,
yeah.
"Oh, that looks like something interesting to play." But then as time went on,
Hmm.
you know, like and it shouldn't be it shouldn't be something that's too bad for like a new kind of game, right? But I feel, you know, like I understand, I completely understand. Maybe their circumstances aren't
Yeah.
in the best place right now, but this feels like it's a game that could have really done well with having the Smash version, like everybody's here from the
Ooh, that would be
beginning, you know,
gold.
because it feels a little underwhelming that yes, you're getting the game for $50, but
We haven't seen the
you're
villains,
only
right?
getting like I think like 10 characters.
Yeah, we haven't seen the villains. We haven't seen like the bad guys. Like,
Yeah, like but again, it's like you need like everything to hit all the check marks for what people could say something negative about. And even if if roster size isn't that important because maybe all the characters are fleshed out in a way where they're so diverse that it's you have a better chance at finding somebody. There's still less of a chance of finding somebody that resonates with you
yeah,
because there's so little bit like there's a low number. So
yeah.
like when I looked up all the Melty Blood characters, the guy I like isn't there. You
Mm.
know, like well, I saw the moves, I saw what they do, and I'm like, okay, I think I would play this character. Are they there? No. Oh well.
But look how can that be fixed, right? And I'm a big fan of this, right? Maybe they show like a symbol of a guest character,
Yeah.
like a tring, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, hold on, it's blah 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 from the novel or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so much material they can pick from, and that brings, you know, who that brings new people to,
Yeah.
right? That brings a lot of new people, and
I mean,
that's what I wanted to.
the idea would be somebody easy would be like the guest would be somebody from Under Night.
Yeah, super cool, right? I mean, there's already one right from there, so technically, there's a girl with a whip. I forgot her name.
Yeah, well, she went to Under Night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
so
maybe
like
someone else.
crossing it
Yeah.
back the other way would make sense.
Yes, that would be so cool. But that's what I was trying to bring when I mentioned so Tekken, right, character in Smash Bros. Kazuya is the latest entry is gonna be completely. I don't know. I never thought it was gonna be Kazuya. I never thought a Tekken character would be there, other than me fighters probably, right? Um, and
I mean,
would that
Pac-Man is a Street Fighter X Tekken character.
Street Fighter X Tekken? Yeah, maybe. And I feel like, you know, that character went there, he did his thing, he's a guest character, and he's super high for a lot of people, right? But also not so high for much more and more people,
Hmm.
right? And that's what I was trying to say is it's kind of a gamble, man. This trailer is like, I feel like the Kazuya trailer was very underwhelmed received. I don't know if that's the right sentence, or maybe I don't like a lot of people didn't hype as in when it's Sephiroth, or like something Banjo Kazooie, and then they don't play him later on. At least they play Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Like
I think when it comes to Smash players, I think they're more hyped for characters that are not from fighting games being in a fighting game.
But Terry was ridiculous.
For you.
But Terry, no,
they didn't know who he was. A lot of these kids didn't know who he was.
I know, they thought it was Ken with a hat, but the trailer was so incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything
for
was
you,
so
yes.
Yeah, you're right. But
yeah, you know the stuff that you see all the shit in the background and all that. Like,
so
they did the thing.
It was so good. When Mama Hot tried to grab the thing and couldn't, that was so amazing. Like, but no, it's just, I just think that Kazuya itself, even though it's a fantastic entry, and I think it's so out of nowhere, I don't think it was a hit, in my opinion. I don't think it was a hit. I don't think it shake the world like it did when all these other characters came out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is another example of a guest character, right, coming into play. Might not always be the solution, but I feel like a guest character normally it is the safest solution to hype up a trailer.
Yeah.
Because
sometimes you go so high, you can't go as high anymore.
I mean, once you bring Sephiroth how they did, you can't
it's
go
hard.
high.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to be like.
This should have been the last character, bro.
Yeah, like it's just hard to gauge what you're gonna get once you've had like that one character. It's like, whoa, this destroyed the internet.
Like Persona.
Everybody loves this. Yeah,
Persona reveal was incredible, right?
Yeah.
It was insane. All this music was incredible, well crafted.
And it was at when it was more popular and more fresh to the Persona 5.
Yeah, so it was incredible. So Tekken, I don't know. So I don't know. I just feel so out of nowhere and so weird. The Tekken character being a guest there and not maybe doing justice with the trailer, with the other things, and I don't know. I just feel like maybe they should revisit how they're revisiting the play style and stuff like that to games, to fighting games. I think they need to revisit because they don't feel universal either, right? These trailers don't feel universal. It feels like so like random for every other game, Am I getting the mission, like the information like how Melty gave me? No. Am I just getting gameplay? No. Am I just getting a teaser of this? What am I? People in fighting games wanna know these things, in general. So why these things are not all together to be presented, I don't know. I think they need to rework that. So maybe to get everyone hype. It might not work for everyone the same way, but I think if you have a structure of how to release these trailers or what you show in your trailer or mention in your trailers, I think will be better, man.
I mean, I think they've done a really good job with how creative the Smash trailers have been. Incredible. In particular. Incredible. But I think with Smash, the hype, like it, you know what the trailer could be if it's a certain character, that screen where it's just like, whatever, David double KOs into the field. All they gotta do is do those 5 seconds for Sora from Kingdom Hearts, and that's it. Internet broken.
And the world explodes.
Internet broken. Don't try too hard. Like it depends on with Smash. I think it depends on who or what the character is.
Yeah, you're right. With Smash, I think it's a different monster. So I guess with Smash doesn't. It's just I didn't feel that energy when it came with the Kazuya thing, and it was a cool trailer. It just didn't feel like it was that crazy.
Yeah.
And speaking of Kazuya, maybe he went there because a game called Street Fighter X Tekken.
Yeah.
Tekken X Street Fighter.
Tekken X Street Fighter. Maybe that's happening, right?
Maybe he got killed because he went to Smash, so they couldn't get him back.
Oh my god.
Because once you go there, you can't come back, And Harada basically mentioned in a tweet that confirmed that the game, the Tekken X Street Fighter, that was decades ago, mentioned. And they have 3D models of Ryu and Chun-Li as Tekken characters.
I remember those.
Yeah, this been canceled, right? It's completely canceled. That project is done, finito. And it makes you wonder, right? It makes you wonder why this happens. So why they feel the need of telling that now.
Well, I think I don't know how it got brought up, but I know it was like there's like a Harada YouTube channel, and it was like him and some other dude either talking or having. I didn't watch it myself, but he said some things that he had to, like, I guess that's where the tweets come from, that he had to re-say because the translation wasn't that good. And basically, he was saying like, the game kind of paused when it was around 30% done, and that was it. Since
Releasing.
yeah, so it was really, yeah, and that was like, a long time ago, and things have changed, and
Completely.
like the way the game industry, like the fighting game industry works, is a little different now, and all that other stuff. And I don't know. Right now, I don't think it matters if it competes with Tekken itself, because even if you're not taking away from your own money, because if that's making money and Tekken stops making money, it's still making money for the company. But the player base kind of gets it kind of gets hurt whenever a fighting game gets released. Any. So it's something we're not League of Legends, we're not Dota, we're not Counter Strike, we're
We're
not.
not massive.
Yeah, we're not a massive community like that. Like when a game comes, like when we've mentioned it before, when Arxis puts out a game, it cannibalizes from itself. Yeah. Like, and people knew that. Like, I put out a video that was people talking about when, damn, like the days are numbered for when Strive comes out, because these lobbies are empty now. Imagine them when the game's released.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be a lot of things that come into play too, because now there's esports leagues, right? For each their own respective stuff. There's Tekken League, there's a Street Fighter League, and even if there's a pandemic going on, they're still figuring out ways to get those back up and running to how they want them to run. And if you introduce something like, let's say, Street Fighter X Tekken, those are two different properties put together. Like, it's a AAA game. If everybody starts playing that, do they get added to the Tekken League? Do they get added to the Capcom League?
Yeah.
Like, do they invade Capcom's league because there's Capcom characters there? Yeah. Do they make their own separate thing? There's too many political reasons nowadays for releasing something like that.
Yeah. So basically, you feel that they put this on a board, and they were like, "What are the pros of us continuing this game?" Type of thing,
Yeah.
And then we're like, "Dude, this game is like a decade old.
Yeah.
Who wants this?" And a lot of people, me.
Yeah. Regardless, people are gonna it's salivate over it if it goes, all right, let's do it, and they go, oh, they're doing it.
But then again,
who should be in the game? Everybody that was in the other one.
The drawback might hit them worse, right? They're not in a position, even though they're being super successful, Bandai Namco and doing all this stuff. They're not in a position to release a crappy. Not saying it's going to be crappy, but releasing something that they don't know is going to resonate with the audience, because the audience haven't asked for that game. It's not something that is like bring rollback to a specific game. Like something that the whole community come together to express they want this. The whole community is not asking bring Tekken X Street Fighter, right? So it will be a gamble, because then if this game is crappy, then that creates a stain into whatever next game might potentially be already in the works, and it might be like, oh, but this is the game that came out after Tekken X Street Fighter. I don't know, it doesn't even have rollback, like something like that. Like, I feel like, it's a good decision. I think that maybe they should just talk about that they're still open for a new collab with something else, so people can just talk about the game. Hey, we're still interested in collaborating with someone. Maybe it could be Tekken X Virtual Fighter, since maybe their Virtual Fighter.
That would be, honestly, I think that would be a little better for people who like traditional Tekken. Because even like, let's say Tekken X Street Fighter comes out, right? There's a whole group of people that don't like that Akuma's in there. They don't like projectile characters.
Akuma's a Tekken character. What are you talking
about? No. Not when you ask. Not ask that to anybody who just finished losing to one, right? like it's really, really, really cool that Geese is in there, Akuma's in there, and all that stuff. But fundamentally, like, it kind of breaks certain people.
It breaks it.
Yeah, because they're like, projectiles. I got to sidestep.
Cancels.
Like, how dare? Why does it get so much damage? Like, the way it's made, that's like the point I'm getting is to that mindset right there. Imagine that imagine all that anger being taken away from that one character or two characters into half of the fucking roster.
Cast,
right?
yeah.
Like who's the game gonna be for then?
It's not gonna be for Tekken, and it has Tekken in the beginning, right? But if they do Tekken versus Virtual Fighter, and even Harada was like excited when Virtual Fighter came back, like the PS5 version and all that stuff, like the remaster with the Dragon Engine and all that stuff. He was like, "Hey, I'm excited. I want you to make your next game so I can compete with you."
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't think it might be a collab, but it would be cool if they do Tekken X Virtual Fighter X DOA, right? All the 3D games, and so he can show like he's the real king of Iron Fist type of thing. You know, if you really have the cojones, you know, just put all the what could be your competition and beat them at your own game, you know.
That would be really cool.
That would be sick. That would be like
Tekken X, any 3D kind of grounded martial arts style fighter.
Yeah,
almost like a BB tag, but better because I don't think they'll need to gut too many of the characters.
That's what I'm saying. Like it can still fit in the world, right? Like it still fits in the world, and everyone has that. It would look like a super Bloodsport tournament, right? Like, oh man, that would be so cool. But they already heard it here, so they're obviously gonna go back into the lab and start making these notes.
Yeah,
what will be the next game? And it will be called the King of Iron Fist. There you go. You don't even need to.
Dude, and you know what's cool? You know what's cool too? They could still add Street Fighter characters to that shit, dude. Like if there's like a bracket of like 12 for each, like there's like maybe like there's 24 Tekken characters, like the more interesting ones to play, right? And like less clones, you know, so people are gonna be upset. But there's gonna be like maybe 12 DOA, 12 Virtual Fighter characters, and then something else.
Yeah,
that'd be so sick, dude.
That'd be so sick. Because 12 Virtual Fighters, almost the whole cast, right? Like,
yeah, you know, that's all of them. That's all you need.
That's sick, dude. Like, I think it would be fantastic. It doesn't even have to be like a game that defines their genre, but it could become that, right? It has the potential of being that because once again, you're helping your other friends. Let's put it like that. The rivals into the fighting game, 3D fighting area, but still showing that you're like the top dog of that.
Yeah, because the top dog made the game, almost like how Capcom was top dog before. They were the ones making the game, right? You know,
they were the one that had the games. They're the ones Street Fighter 4. You know, they're the one that had these things.
They're the ones going, we'll collab with you. If Tekken's up there making that collaboration, it's one is their game, right?
Yeah.
Two, they're using other people's resources and still getting more eyes on the other companies because they're put with Tekken. So it's like a win-win in a way, right?
Yeah.
But they're still showing that, you know,
they're the best.
They've got a bigger penis.
And that's all about why the people make games.
That's the only reason anybody does anything. to stand on top of a mountain with your chest out.
Oh my god, puffing.
While everybody's beneath you. Yeah, that's the only reason you do anything.
But I think if you guys think like what other collab can Tekken make for, or you think that would be cool them crossing over, you know, it would be cool to hear you guys what you guys think about. Let us know down in the comments. It could be even Soul Calibur. Crap, put someone in there.
Yeah, who would be Maxi?
Yeah.
Maxi, somebody like Brutes. You could put Brutes in there.
Heihachi.
Heihachi, yeah. Link.
Soul Calibur 2.
You put Link in there. Necron. What was his name?
Oh, Necrid or whatever. That's the worst character ever created. Ever.
I know you didn't like him. That's why I was like, what was that dude's name? I know you hated him.
So bad. So crappy. But let us know, guys. If you're also, once again, if you're also playing Strife, I want to read more of that. To know what you guys thinking. You know, I want to see what our community is thinking about Strife. You know, hopefully you guys liking what we're pushing out for you guys. So, if you got anything else,
everybody. Thanks for listening, and again, apologies for any kind of background music from all these parties happening around us.
Woo!
Yeah, and the motorcycle drag races on David's neighborhood.
I tried to mute it, I couldn't. It's too strong.
Yeah. I mean, at least Ali is calm today.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks again for listening in, and we'll be back whenever the hell we want. Peace. Did this guy play this dude all his life and knew what he was gonna do? Because those reads were insane. This is a new character.
He had no health.
Amaku says new, and he just knew what what to risk, like what to risk when. And then people that don't know the game probably don't, just because we knew the game, so we like the ideas in his head on what to do and when were just fucking insane. Maybe we haven't watched it in a long time enough to just be like, oh yeah, they do that every game. They do that to him all the time.
Just play this game.
Amakusa low tier. That's just.
That word, and in the Wimpos putting the banner is way too
the banner.
It's way too
my kingdom now.
Yeah, my game.